Good evening. Hello, everyone. I'm Maya Palacio here for Media Maya. Thank you for tapping in right now. So today we're welcoming in Leilanni Nesbeth. Now, for everyone who knows Leilanni Nesbeth, doesn't know Leilanni Nesbeth, you're going to know her a lot more today. So I'll be joined with her. She is a two-time NCAA champion with her Florida State University team, which she captained in her final year, and also a four-time back-to-back ACC championship with the Florida team as well. Now, Nesbeth also, of course, represented Bermuda at every single level. And you may recall her home game, which was in 2022 when she scored a hat trick at the Dame Philadelphia Stadium. Now, finally, what you might know her for most is recently she was the 10th pick in the first round of the National Women's Soccer League to the Chicago Red Stars. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Leilanni Nesbeth to this conversation.
Hey, Maya. Hey, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I think everyone's pretty stoked to learn about your career, your journey, and where you're at right now in your professional career. All right, so everyone, while we're talking, all the questions that you asked on Instagram will be streamed through Amber Map. So thank you, Amber, for streaming through those questions for this conversation today for anyone who's tapping in on Instagram and wants to join in. So you can also ask any questions you want on YouTube, and they'll be up on the screen throughout the conversation. Please feel free to ask any questions, and we'll bring them up. All right, so first off, I like to start things off with an icebreaker. That's just me. So we're going to start with a little bit of this or that questions.
Okay.
And the sports and kind of like Bermuda edition as well.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great. So the first one, playlist or podcast?
Playlist.
Pink sand or palm trees?
Ooh, not a big beach person, so I'll go palm trees.
Cup match or soca?
Probably go soca. But really? I love cricket. So, but I haven't been to a cup match game in a minute, so well overdue.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, she's gotta say cricket for this one, right? She said soca. All right, everyone. Okay, Bermuda shorts or polo top?
Polo top.
Cliff diving or swimming?
Cliff diving.
A rental bike or Twizy?
I haven't got my bike license. Or probably the Twizy.
You ain't got your bike license?
I ain't got no bike license. I never have time in Bermuda. Yeah, it's a work in progress, I think.
You know, I'm not even gonna sit up because I haven't got my car license yet. Cherries or loquats?
Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one. Probably go loquats. That's like childhood.
Right?
Yeah.
Up into people's yards, climbing up the streets.
That sounds about right. Getting in trouble, yep.
All right, KFC or Mr. Chicken?
Ooh. Probably Mr. Chicken. Let's go Mr. Chicken.
All right. Now, are you a Gatorade, Powerade girly, or water?
Definitely take Gatorade over Powerade for sure.
And are you shin guards or no shin guards?
Definitely well, it depends. Probably no shin guards.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And beach or the pool?
The pool.
And the final one, white rooftops or pink and blue bus stops?
Ooh. I like pink and blue bus stops. I like the bus stops. That's another childhood memory right there, too.
All right, a couple of little silly ones before we get started here, but do you have any weird superstitions before you play a game?
Not any weird ones. I do pray with my grandmother before every game, before I step out. I don't go out onto the field without, giving her a little WhatsApp call. She gives me a little rundown, say I love you to my mom, my pa, and then head out there. That's the only superstition I got. And writing, obviously, like my mom's name on my wrist, but that's about it.
I love that. Okay, so what do you normally eat before a game?
It's pretty basic. It probably sounds awful to the audience. Some salmon, some rice, some vegetables. Pretty basic. Get your carbs in. Um, been drinking beet juice before games. That was something we did at Florida State that helped. So it wasn't always the prettiest, didn't always taste the best, but it got the job done. So
I was about to say like that.
yeah, you gotta do those ones. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Do you have a pump up song before a game?
I listen to anything Rod Wave, anything Rod Wave. If I got my headphones in, 95% of the time it's either Rod Wave, and the other 5% is probably something like Kesha or Lady Gaga. So
Really? Gaga.
yeah,
I was just watching me and my friends were watching some of the NFL games, the matches last night, like some of the halftime shows, and we were watching Gaga's, and we were just kind of stunned, like forgetting just how much she put into that game. We're like,
yeah,
dang,
crazy.
yeah, she was. I was like, this is artistry. This is what I love to see. Okay, and last one before we get started is, what's your favorite football memory?
Favorite football memory? That's a good one. Um, I think I have a lot. Obviously, this last season was incredible. Definitely going down in the books, and then winning. The entire thing, just like how we did and how dominant like we were as a team, and how incredible we came together, and we found ways to win, and just enjoyed having each other's, like, being around each other and being in each other's presence. That was just a wholesome, and probably one of the best seasons I've had. And then there was a ACC game. I think it was in 2021 or 2020 possibly, and we played North Carolina. And me and Clara Robbins, who is an old teammate of mine, we definitely would probably say that was probably one of our favorite games, just in regards to us assisting each other, and being able to help each other in regards to scoring goals and assisting. So it was definitely a memorable game. And then, yeah, I think, being in England was fun. Obviously, being back home in Bermuda and being able to travel around the world with the national team, being able to go over to, like, I think I counted, like, been over to like 20 countries, and a lot of them was because of football. So definitely super appreciative for that. So I know that's not one, but I definitely probably too many to count. So
Your whole life's wrapped up in
yeah,
it.
so it's all fun.
Nice. All right, let's take us back a bit more, because I know there's probably a lot of parents, a lot of athletes also watching this right now, and you started your not professional, but your sports career super early. Like at 13, you went to England to play cricket on a scholarship. Like, do you remember that day specifically, and the decision that was made to get you to go?
Yeah, I mean, it was a process in regards to just knowing that I wanted to take another step in regards to my career. I was playing football and cricket at the time, but definitely knew that, wanted to branch out of Bermuda, and being able to, um, challenge myself a little bit, embark on a journey that was going to be able to help in regards to me being successful, and making it to the level that I'm at now. So it was definitely a conversation I had between myself and my grandmother, in particular, as well as members of my family. There were those overseas kind of like boarding school conferences that they used to have up at, I don't know if it was like Hamilton Princess, Southampton Princess, or one of those, and was able to kind of reach out and have conversations with different I guess people in charge of those schools, and was able to kind of dial it down to a couple that were of particular interest, and what was going to be most beneficial for me. Decided on beads. Obviously, had some people from Bermuda, who previously attended there. Del Rey was one of them, who obviously he's continuing his pro career in cricket. So definitely thought that was the best option for me. Was able to get a scholarship over there through cricket, but obviously was still able to play football as well, and the opportunities were kind of endless in that regard. So definitely knew that was the option for me.
Sweet. So, what made your mind sway to, no, it's got to be football over cricket?
Yeah, I mean, it was different things. I think, cricket and football are two different things. That the biggest one being the amount of time each one, each, like the duration of each sport. Definitely loved cricket. I loved, how strategic it was, the planning that went into it, the training that went into it. But I think the biggest thing for me was just what was gonna showcase my personality and make me the happiest. And I think that I definitely gravitated towards football in that regard, just being able to, kind of it was active, for 90 minutes you're constantly going at it, rather than cricket. So it's a little slower and you kind of have to wait for your moment. You can be fielding, and the ball may only get to you a couple of times a game, so you definitely takes a bit more patience. And I think, football was definitely something where I could just showcase my personality. I could be loud, I could be aggressive, I can kind of be myself. So definitely kind of went down that path.
Ticked most of the boxes for you.
Yeah.
So when did you start? I don't know. I feel like every athlete at some point has this conversation with either their parents or teachers, where they're like, remember, education comes first, school comes first, and that's kind of like your forte. School comes first, sports comes second. But at some point, because now you're a professional at this level, like when do you think there was like a switch where kind of sport overtook education? Not saying the education fell behind, but like just became a little bit more important.
Yeah, I think probably definitely college, but I also think that the like one of the biggest reasons I wanted to come over to the States was because I was kind of able to get that academics and athletics kind of in one place, rather than staying over in England, where you play for an academy, but then you also have to try to branch out and try to obtain a degree elsewhere. So that's kind of why I came to the States initially, and obviously was able to attend Florida State, which obviously is a great academic program, academic school. So I was able to still pursue my sports management degree, and while I was there, kind of got the best of both worlds. Was able to play another year of football and also get my master's. But in that regard, in regards to kind of that shift, I wouldn't say it was a huge. I think, like like I said, being at Florida State, they definitely prepare you for life after college. So they definitely don't um, put any pauses or full stops on academics. They make sure that you're ticking all those boxes and are able to still be a professional on and off the field, knowing that not everyone makes it to the big leagues in sports. So making sure that you still have all your boxes checked when it comes to your degree, to make sure that you're still taken care of if football or if sports isn't your path after college. So I definitely say that there was a balance in regards to all of it, and my teammates will probably agree with me. We were, I think it was what we had, like a 3.5 like GPA average, which is incredible, because then we're also a team who still wins all these championships, wins these games, and are able to stay consistently successful. So definitely kudos to our coaching staff and the people around us for pushing that academics, but also making sure we're as successful as we can on the field.
Yeah, that's really amazing. You're right. Like a 3.5 average for your whole squad coming together. That's a good average.
And that's just off the dome. It may be more. I'm not too sure, but we had some amazing, Beata. I think it was Gabby Carl, so who like have all these like elite 90 awards, which means that they're like have like a 4.0 GPA, and they're still like scholar athletes, and yeah, so
Definitely.
credit to them. Yeah.
I do see. I mean, I feel like I got that kind of perception of like, when you're an athlete and having to do good at sport. I saw it first from, and I'm going to shout out her name, but Tahira Butterfield, she's a sprinter in Bermuda. And man, I remember she was in Cedar Bridge a year above me, and she cleaned up principals list all the time. And then she went on to university and like still did amazing in her sprinting career. And like, I just knew her for athletics, and she was an amazing. So I think you actually posted something on your story. I think it was the Howard University team, and like they have a collective GPA of like a 3.8 or something above it with
Yeah.
like 6 of their players.
Incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, women in sport. I'm just saying. All right. So you did have an interview in 2022 with Colin Thompson, the up close interview, and you mentioned how your athletic career has been like one of the hardest experiences, also very rewarding as well. But like there's some things that people only see the good and the victories a lot. But now that you're in this light that you are, can you kind of share maybe what those hard experiences were that you had to overcome?
Yeah, I mean, sports is tough, and that's just sports in itself. Life is tough, and I feel like I'm an advocate of that. I always, end up saying that in these various interviews, and whenever someone asks me, because it's not all, daisies and rainbows. And obviously, like, the winning is great, and you see people, having a great time and winning championships and smiling, but it takes a lot of sacrifice to be here, to obviously, to even just to be, just a member of society, kind of, in this world. It's tough, but also, being able to play soccer at a high level in college, and now at the professional level, it's difficult. There's a lot of different things behind the scenes. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of, sometimes you struggle with with your confidence and just different things like that. My progression in college, it was different. So my first 3 years, I came into college, I was coming off of a ACL injury, the biggest injury that I've ever sustained in my career thus far. And it was tough. I remember like finding out and me bawling to my grandmother, saying, like, I don't know what's next. It was just when I had committed to Florida State, so didn't really know what that was gonna look like. You obviously signed to this, national championship caliber program, and you turn around and you tear your ACL, and you're out for 9 months minimum, and you don't and now you go from one high to the extreme of now being at your lowest point. So that was obviously difficult, but I had to kind of come back, and I had some amazing people around me to kind of push me through all those things. And unfortunately, in this sport, those injuries are kind of inevitable. Fingers crossed that there's some things to change that, but it's tough. And also, my grandmother will probably know more than anyone, the amount of nights I call her, and I'm, sitting here stressing. Even in this last week, I'm calling, I'm like, Ma, I don't know what this looks like, like, what about this? What about that? And I think the most important thing for me was just making sure I had the people around me to kind of keep me level, keep me grounded, making sure that whenever I doubted myself, that they kind of brought me back to life, picked me back up, making sure that, yes, it was cool if I fell, but making sure that I don't stay down there for too long. So yeah, I mean, um, when you're 13, it's not easy, and having to kind of navigate life yourself isn't easy. But all of it has been for a reason, and I'm super grateful for the people who have continued to support me. But getting here it's been tough, and it's still tough every single day, and I'm just taking it day by day. But grateful for the opportunities always. So.
Wow. Jeez, I don't know if a lot of people knew that about your ACL injury as well. Like, that's
Mhm.
hard to come back from. Not a lot of people come back from it.
Yes.
Normally it
Yeah.
happens and people just give up.
Yep.
So, and you didn't. Wow, congrats to you. All right,
Mhm.
so we're going to talk about your pro career, because you've been out there now for a week and a bit, and now you started the preseason. Obviously, anyone that's tapped in, please feel free to ask some questions. Amber Map will be facilitating the questions that are being asked on Instagram. I see some coming up on YouTube, and we'll definitely get to them. So let's just start off by just going right into, your pro career. So talking about draft day, we're going to play the quick little video of you on draft day when you got mentioned. So let's take a look, and then we'll jump right into it.
With the 10th pick in the first round of the 2024 NWSL Draft, Chicago Red Stars select Leilanni Nesbeth from Florida State University. Portland Thorns, you're on the clock.
Out of Florida State, a midfielder in Leilanni Nesbeth is headed to the Windy City. Lori, what about this pick makes sense for Chicago?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this one. Florida State, as you mentioned, but deep-lying midfielder, can get forward as well. Used to be a forward before coming to Florida State, so has those attacking instincts, can play a bit deeper. But one thing we know about Chicago is they need players, and they need the spine of their team.
Take me back to that moment. How did it feel?
It's still surreal. I'm sitting there backstage grinning. It was definitely, every time I come across the video, can't help but smile. A dream come true. And it's tough, and I don't think many people, you think you just kind of show up, and then just sitting there, and you like kind of know what's going to happen. Sometimes you don't really know. I had no idea that Chicago was gonna pick me. Obviously, you have like your agent and different members around you who kind of give as much information to you that they possibly can and that they know. So they try to keep you in the loop. But I had absolutely no idea that Chicago was going to be the place where I ended up getting drafted to, but obviously super, super appreciative for the opportunity, and grateful for Lauren and everyone in the organization. But genuinely, probably the most stressful day of my life, sitting there, legs shaking, panting, sweating. I'm sitting there texting back and forth, and it's easy for your mind to wonder, like, oh, you kind of, like, what's the worst that can happen? And you try to, prepare yourself, but can't really prepare yourself for that moment. It was incredible, and just hearing like the L kind of like roll off her tongue, it was incredible. So definitely brings all the feels back. So
Oh man, that you got me over here cheesing because like I'm trying to think about that moment for you. I'm just like I can't imagine like sitting there, and I was like, come like, what is it like because you said like you didn't know who you're gonna get drafted by. So what is the process of even knowing that you're gonna be there on that day?
yeah, so I was fortunate. I was fortunate to have the NWSL reach out to me and offer to pay for me to come out to Anaheim to attend the event. I didn't have intentions of going, was just gonna kind of stay in the house and watch on TV. But the process is it's different for everyone. I had various calls with teams, just about a lot of things. They're asking questions, I'm asking questions, just getting a vibe, and also still not limiting your opportunities, still seeing if there's potential opportunities overseas or wherever the case may be. But no, it was definitely probably a month of, once again, just a stressful couple of weeks, just going back and forth. There's a lot of talking, there's a lot of communicating, there's a lot of emails, there's a lot of text messages. Don't think I have ever been on my phone as much as I have in the last month in my life. So definitely just a lot of communication, staying on top of that, networking, talking to all these different coaches. But like I said, in regards to those conversations with other teams, Chicago wasn't one of them. So that's why it made that moment that much more scary, but also that much more special and enjoyable and memorable. So.
Wow. Well, how many teams were there that reached out to you? Can I ask that question?
Yeah, I think I had calls with about 6, I think.
Wow. And did you ever think that one of them was going to be the one though? And could you say you never even spoke to the Chicago Red Stars?
Yeah, never spoke to Chicago. But it's tough because you never really know. If you have 12 calls or you have no calls, you never know what's going to happen on that day. And there's different trades that happen, and that's obviously how I ended up in Chicago with going 10. I think I'm not sure who they traded that. I think it was North Carolina. They traded that pick for. But yeah, it's so many things that can happen, and you may go in there with one idea, and obviously, like I said, have an agency around me and different people around me who keep me in the loop and make sure I have the most recent information. But even that can change 5 minutes before, so you're walking over and someone pulls you to the side and say, hey, this may happen or this may shape out this way. It's scary, so you're just heading over thinking that you can end up being somewhere, and the next minute, like, you don't know, and you're kind of and you're stuck trying to figure it out. So it's definitely interesting, and I don't think there's ever any words to properly describe the feeling and describe their process. It's just one you have to just you have to be there and you have to feel it to kind of understand and appreciate. But definitely,
Yeah.
it was tough. I wouldn't want to do it again, I don't think, but it was cool. It was cool.
Well, for anyone who may be like hoping to be on a similar journey as you, what type of questions like did the teams ask you when you got to speak to them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like they ask general questions just in regards to what do you think like your best strengths are? What do you think you still need to improve on? They'll ask questions kind of about, past injuries or wherever the case may be, just to make sure that they know where you are, like where you're at physically. So different things like that. And obviously some teams are more specific. Some teams aim at just getting into the nitty gritty stuff about, how you are as a player, what attributes you have and characteristics you have as a player. But then some may, dive into more about, your character and your personality, my call with Orlando, they were kind of, asking questions just about like, how would I describe myself, or what teammates, or how would teammates describe me? So that's when it's a little bit different, but it's definitely cool. And obviously I was able to ask my various questions just about, culture of the team, the identity that they have, what their staff looks like in regards to them, to analysts, to nutritionists, to different people like that. So it was definitely a back and forth conversation. Wasn't too long. It kind of varies on the team and kind of what their needs are, and that's sort of how it goes. So,
whoa. All right, thank you for that insight. That's like good to know. I mean, shoot, if I was in that position, I'd be like, I want to know what they're going to ask me too. All right, so what were some of your pro expectations actually before actually making it to this level?
Pro expectations, I definitely knew that the transition was going to be a step up from what I've done in college. I am super, super grateful that I ended up at Florida State. I don't think I could have went anywhere else to better prepare me for this moment and for this experience. Definitely got that feel of a professional setting, and acting and walking and living like a professional athlete, which is something that I'm still working on, and I still got ways to go. I'm a rookie in this league, but definitely that transition was a lot easier, and this transition has been a lot easier because of just the people I've had around me, the coaches that I've had, the various conversations that I've had. So super appreciative to my coaches and my teammates at Florida State, because they put me in a great position to be able to come over here. And it's different, you're at the end of the day, now it's a job. Now you're fighting for a spot. You're fighting for a contract. You're fighting for, like, to get your bills paid at the end of the day. Like, now it's a business, now it's a job. So it's definitely different, and it's scary. And, you got to take a big gulp when it comes to, like, now this is my life. It's not, I'm managing homework on the side, or I still got a degree to obtain. It's like, no, now this is everything, and this is it. Yep. So.
And remember, you're telling me backstage about the fact that just because you're drafted obviously doesn't mean you're contracted yet. So you're still like on those levels of proving yourself, proving your worth, and seeing like what comes from that. And we're going to move on to some more questions, but I just want to throw up some comments that you're getting from people tapping in right now. Massive congratulations from Kamiko Smith, professional golfer in Bermuda. Some other ones saying, whoop, whoop, shout out to fellow Bermudian sports management major. Great career field. That's from Kenneth Burgess. Traveling Trotty says, kudos to you and your accomplishments. More coming in. This one's, okay, yeah, so proud of my niece. Love you, Lee. Student athletes, yup. Congrats. So proud of her. Great role model and so humble. Oh man, you get a lot of nice compliments here. Here's a question Amber scouted out from someone called ProGal Sports. Says, please ask her about development at the grassroots level in Bermuda. How much confidence does she have in Bermuda's FA to strengthen football at the grassroots level for the girls?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a great question. It's kind of that big question mark, because, you have to be realistic. Bermuda is a very small place, but I do feel as though the investment is there. And fortunately, there's a lot of amazing people in Bermuda who really care about women's football, care about the kids, care about, development or developing just the sport as a whole in the country. So that's always amazing. And once you have the people, then it's just a matter of investment. It's a matter of resources and opportunities. And that would probably be the biggest area probably for improvement in that regard. And I hope to, in some capacity, be able to contribute to that in the near future, and be able to offer advice and offer investment, offer opportunities, offer conversations, or any way that I possibly can help. But I definitely do think that it's continuing to get better and better. And hopefully, girls continue to stay involved, continue to get involved in the national team and the youth programs going up to the senior level, because it has awarded me some of the most amazing opportunities to not only meet some amazing people, but to travel and get noticed all over the world. So that's definitely something I'm forever appreciative for Bermuda and what they're doing. And I think it's just going to continue to hopefully get better and better. And like I said, hopefully I can add to that in some ways.
Yeah, we love to hear it. Definitely going to ask some questions related to the CONCACAF Gold Cup, but still want to talk about your pro career, because you've been in this for like maybe a week and a bit now. Tell us about your daily routine, your scheduling, what's that look like for you?
Yeah, so We were supposed to train tomorrow, but we got the weekend off. This is actually my week anniversary of being in Chicago. Was definitely different. It's not Bermuda weather nor Florida weather, so still getting used to that, and got to do some shopping and get another coat, I think. But all in due time. But in regards to everyday life, came in, got our physicals done on Monday, started practice on Tuesday, train from about, it depends, about 12:30 to 2:30 ish. They obviously they give us breakfast. They also give us a post training meal. And it's kind of up to us to kind of figure out like what else you want to do for the rest of the day. I'm currently staying with the girl who's currently on the team, and still obviously trying to carpool it to like practice, because it's about with the traffic. I've learned that Chicago traffic is absolutely awful. So what's a 7 mile trip ends up being like a 45-minute drive, which is kind of crazy. So obviously you have to take that into account, end up leaving early to do treatment or to do some recovery, and you usually have meetings at about 11 o'clock that will range from 30 minutes to an hour before heading over to the facility at 12:30. So probably get into the facility around 10 o'clock, or around there, eat some breakfast, chill before the meetings, finish up around 2:30, leave, shower, get all your nutritional stuff in, ice bath, recovery, all that sort of stuff. And also depending on if we have a lift, usually finish up around 3:30, head back home. You're in home about 4:35, and you kind of eat, rest, and do it all again the next day. So
Pack schedule. Is it different? Do you think it's different from, university to now? Do you feel a difference in level of training level even?
I would say that was probably the biggest thing. I think in regards to the speed of play and like the level of talent, I wouldn't say that there's a huge difference, because I feel like college ball is incredible and there's so many talented players. But probably the biggest shift for me is just like the intensity and the volume of sessions in regards to like coming off rip, and like you're playing the first day, you're playing the second day, then you're running a fitness test the third day, then you're playing again full side on the fourth day. And that was kind of how this week played out. So it's definitely I would say a jump, because you're not, I mean, now it's also preseason too, so you're not kind of preparing for a game on the weekend or two games in the week. So it's definitely just full steam ahead, building up your fitness, building up your strength, and obviously playing a lot of football.
Amazing. Wow. So what are your own personal, I guess, expectations for this season for you?
I just want to get my foot in the door. I want to be able to make an impact, want to make a difference. I want to be able to learn as much as I can and be an absolute sponge, because I definitely feel as though everyone has something to learn. Definitely, like I said, I mentioned, being disciplined and walking and talking and breathing like a pro. So that's definitely something I want to be able to continue to add to my game, and being, disciplined in every regard, from recovery to performance. So I'm able to be consistent and take care of my body, so that I'm able to, compete at the highest level every single day. So I think that's one, as a personal area that I want to focus on. Like I said, if Chicago is the plan for me in the future, and that's how the season goes, I definitely want to be able to make a difference. There's this organization has put in a lot of investment into this building this organization back up, and bringing that kind of fire and excitement back to Chicago in regards to women's football. So I just want to be a part of that. I want to help win games. I want to help possibly win championships, and I just want to be able to make a difference, put a smile on people's faces while I'm doing it. So that's my biggest goal.
Amazing. All right, so let's talk about the first game that you guys have, which is against the Utah Royals. If anyone wants to take a screenshot right there, that's some of the first few games that they got coming up for the Chicago Red Stars. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's about 22 players on the roster. Are we
22 to 26?
Okay, 22 to 26 players on the roster. Will we be seeing you coming out for that first game starting up, you think?
I hope so. Fingers crossed. Hopefully what I've done in the last week, and obviously start again up on Monday, just trying to make sure that I'm showing up every single day. It's a competitive league with an incredible amount of talent in this league, and nothing is guaranteed. So I can't be complacent. Can't just expect things to happen for me. I kind of go out, I got to go out and take it, kind of thing. So just excited to be here, excited to learn, and whatever happens to me in my future, I'm obviously super grateful for the opportunity, and hopefully, fingers crossed, like I said, if I put the work in and the opportunity's there, I could be there on March 16th.
All right, everyone in Bermuda is definitely going to be like waiting to see you, waiting to hear from you, and cheering you on. I swear, as soon as you got drafted, I'm like, well, Chicago Star just won like 63,000 new fans right there. So, blank period. All right, so let me ask you one more thing about your new team. Just what's the vibes like right now? How are your teammates? What your coaches are like? Like, how do you feel right now in this space?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's definitely a team that's definitely exciting. It's a lot of talent. Like I said, they're all incredibly good players coming from different backgrounds and different places. So that's always cool to see how people add their little things to a team. I'm definitely learning a lot. There's obviously been different trades and there's been different players who are still in the works of coming to the facility and starting practices and different things like that. So I'm excited to see everyone here. We're also preparing to go down to IMG on February 2nd to play some games against some other pro teams within the league. So that should be exciting and that should be fun to be able to kind of get that proper feel for it and like what it looks like. But no, this team is incredible, like I said, and I started off from the higher ups to the owners to the coaches and the players and the different staff around. It seems like everyone's just really determined and excited and passionate about making this club what it used to be, a championship caliber organization that's going to compete within this league, and the investment is there. And it's just a matter of now putting all the pieces together, getting that cohesion there, learning about each other and kind of what our strengths and weaknesses are, helping and adapting and being flexible. And obviously Lauren and the other assistant coaches are amazing. So I'm excited to continue to learn from them and work under them. And yeah, I think it should be really exciting. So.
Yeah, definitely. I did read that there's like a lot of new moving parts within the Chicago Red Stars, and
Yeah.
especially the coach as well, who actually helped to coach Jamaica, if I'm correct about that. Yeah, and so a lot of different things happening. See, the guys drafted, I think, five new people
Yeah,
for Chicago.
yeah.
Exactly. So they're definitely making a shift here. So we're hoping to see like really great things within the team this season too. All right. So let's talk about your Florida State University team just a bit. Now, if anyone watched when you guys won that NCAA championship last year, and 2023, you had a really great interview at the end that really showed, I felt like, the spirit and the love that you had for your team. So we're going to just take a quick play of that.
You are the captain of a title-winning squad, and you told me earlier that you knew that you had a job to get done, and you hadn't let all the emotions out quite yet, but now being on the stage, what are you feeling, Leilanni?
It's unexplainable, obviously, college has been rough, man. College has been hard, and genuinely wouldn't have been able to do it with people who have believed in me, my teammates who have believed in me, and I am so grateful for them. I thank God for them every single day. I love them so much. Honestly, that's a bittersweet moment. So obviously, this is my last time in these threads, but to go out like this, it's an unforgettable moment.
That day seemed like a super emotional one. I remember watching that interview and I was like, I played it on the Daily Hour and stuff, and I cried watching that interview, just thinking about like, that's like your last moments like with this team. So, if your team or your past coaches, anyone's watching right now, like, and they see you now doing your professional career, what do you have to say to them right now?
Yeah, I think I said it there. I'm just grateful for them. The coaching staff that I've had for the last 2 years, they have completely changed my life. They have instilled this new confidence and this new drive and motivation that I've had as a player, as a person, and they've trusted me enough to sometimes have those uncomfortable, tough conversations with me, but they have prepared me for where I am right now. And I go back to that word discipline and just wanting to, be a pro and being able to carry out this lifelong dream of mine. So super appreciative for them. My teammates are the best in the game, and they're obviously incredible players, but they're more importantly, they're incredible people. So I'm forever appreciative for what they've done to me, and hopefully I was able to make an impact on their life in some way. But forever gonna, cherish my 5 years at Florida State, all the change, all the struggles, all the wins, all the losses. But it definitely the best 5 years I've had in my life, and I obviously love them dearly, and they're always going to be a part of my career, part of my life forever. So, yeah.
Love that. All right, going back to some things that happened throughout last year as well was the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup. Now, I want to talk on that a little bit because, like, you are obviously an integral player for Bermuda, but you couldn't always be available because you had commitments with your university on scholarship and things like that. But I want to know, like, what does it feel like having to like be put in those choices where it's kind of made for you already, but like you had to be there in one spot and couldn't be there in another? What does that feel like as an athlete?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think it's definitely tough, and as I'm learning, it's as much as I want to. I'm one of those people who, if it's possible, if there's a small chance that I can be able to say yes to everyone and everything, I'm definitely going to do that. But it was definitely tough, especially this being my last year, and obviously unfortunate that I wasn't able to go out there and being able to contribute. In the fall, as much as I was able to do over the summer, in the island games. But kudos to them, kudos to Bermuda. They did well, and they're going to continue to do well. So hopefully, I'm still able to contribute in some way in the near future. But yeah, it's definitely tough. It's not easy. And unfortunately, that's just I can't always be in two places at once as much as I would love to. But it was tough for sure.
Yeah, for real. And you got to think about, your health wise, putting things, you got to level the risk too, right? But I'm sure you watched that game. Take us back to the moment. Like, how did you feel when you watched it and the loss?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough sometimes, and sometimes the game is weird. But I think you you like you have the pieces. It's just a matter of putting them together. And like a lot of these teams around the world, they're able to do training camps, and they're able to get everyone together and do trainings and get games and stuff like that. So for what it's worth, I think Bermuda has done a pretty good job of beating the odds and being able to still come out and being able to compete against a lot of teams. So kudos to them, kudos to us, obviously. But no, it was a tough one, but the bounce back is inevitable, and I think they're just eager in regards to what I've heard and what I've seen from the team and the coaching staff. Everyone's just determined to getting back on that stage and being able to do it right whenever that opportunity comes.
Exactly. All right. Thank you for that. All right. So everyone, just a reminder, if you have any questions for Leilanni, please drop them in, especially if you have any young athletes out there, things that you want to know, experiences that she might have, throw them down in the comments, and Amber will definitely facilitate them and have them up on the screen. All right. So after the NCAA win, you actually did come back to Bermuda. You went back to St. David's, and they had a motorcade in your honor, and there were signings of footballs, everything good on. Can you tell me about that moment, what it felt like being back home and getting celebrated?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing, to be able to have, friends, family there, supporters there, people who have supported me kind of ever since I was a little girl, like growing up in Bermuda. So super, super grateful for everyone who played a role in making that possible. It was an amazing experience, an amazing night. It was amazing to be able to give back to the girls from the Bermuda or from the St. David's community. And hopefully I'm able to do more of that whenever I get time to come back home. Definitely something I'm passionate in, but it was definitely, like I said, a great experience. And I'm super grateful and fortunate for the people for their continuous support in regards to my career. So.
Amazing. What's the best piece of advice that you think you can give right now to any young athlete out there?
I would say keep going. Sounds cliche, but there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Everyone will tell you in whatever field they do. One thing that I'm struggling with is kind of being okay with not knowing and not having control of what your life looks like. And I think just making sure that mentally you're in a good spot. And like I said, once again, it sounds corny and cliche, but you gotta work hard. You have to be able to meet the demands of whatever you're doing, continuing to push forward, to put your best foot forward, get out of your comfort zone, take risk, believe in yourself. But at the end of the day, the work is what matters, and the work is going to be what gets you to the next level. So.
Amazing. We're going to throw up some of these comments so you get to see them and people can see what people are saying about you. This last one that came in from Dorita Roger says, that was her dad in the bleachers rooting for her. Her Fergo family is proud of her, and her unwavering love she has for God, family is amazing. There's someone else that says, absolute resilience is key. Someone come from Instagram, Manu Fan 96 says, she'll become the greatest local women's player going forward. Another person, the Tara Bartle says, Chi-Town, treat her right. She also says, it's been one hell of a roller coaster ride. The best part is God was with you the entire time. We're so proud of you, Nugget. Stay humble, king, and put God first. A lot of great things being said about you in these comments right now. Trying to get to all of them for you, Leilanni. You have overcome so many challenges to reach this level. Your tenacity, humbleness, and dedication to all the sports you played has placed you where you are today. That's from Miss Garcia there.
It's my little sister.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know she don't know how to spell those words, so I'm curious where she found those.
Someone might be tapped into her page for her. There's tons of great comments coming through. People are like really supporting you. Well done. A lot of people saying thanks to you in this interview right now. Again, more congratulations. It's just looking good, and everyone's super, super happy and proud of you.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
So let's just close out a little bit, but I just want to know, and you talked about your grandma a lot, actually, even earlier on, just the bond that you guys have. But how do you feel about like your family and the influences that they have on you and your friends, and how do you keep in touch with them, and how do they support you on your journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not easy, and I think that was also a huge challenge for me. Going into college, I lost my mom in my first couple weeks after heading up to Los Angeles and being with my team for the first 2 games of my college career. So that was a huge thing for me. It was tough. And then, my great grandfather also passed away a couple months after that. So it was definitely a tough experience going into college and being able to navigate these different things. But when I mention it all the time, it's impossible to get through these things without having the people around you to continue to support you and pick you up every single day. So, like I said, my family, my friends, my coaching staff, my teammates, they have played an immense role in regards to my life, in regards to me overcoming different challenges in my life when it comes to obviously soccer stuff, but most importantly, just meeting the demands of life and all the stressors and all the things that that life seems to throw at you, and but at the end of the day, it's made me who I am, and I don't expect it to lighten up anytime soon. But like I said, if I continue to have these people around me, I think I'm going to continue to be able to push through, be able to continue to smile and be myself, and kind of just keep on tackling every day. So. Super appreciative to them. Thank you to everyone in Bermuda who has supported me, to my family, to my friends, obviously to my coaching staff, all throughout the years, my teammates. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I'm so grateful for you. And I appreciate all that you have done for me and are going to continue to do for me. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Leilanni. We're closing this up very soon, everyone. So just trying to get to any last questions. But I just want to thank you, Leilanni, for being here. And I guess one question that I kind of have for you is is there like a myth that you would love to debunk about women in sports?
A myth?
Or something that's always said. And you're like, not true.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I don't know. I feel like women can do anything. We've definitely seen it all, and they're just people in front of us are just paving the way for us. And obviously, I'm grateful for the people and the women in front of me who have kind of beat the odds, did the numbers, and remain humble. So that's a little, lyric coding, but yeah, obviously I hope to do the same for the girls coming behind me. And you can do anything that you put your mind to. Once again, another cliche quote, but it's so true. And you are you are your only limit. So whatever you want to do, whatever you kind of have aspirations and have dreams towards, keep on doing the work to get there and don't stop until you get there. And I think that's definitely something that we've seen a lot of women do. And I think it's going to hopefully continue to play out that way. So.
Amazing. Got a question here from Jamal Hartman is, how do you hope that your experience will inspire others?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of useless if I've done all these things in my life. I've traveled all over the world. I've left home to, start my career, and now, hopefully embarking on a professional career. It's kind of useless if I keep it all to myself. That's why, I mentioned being able to give back in some capacity. And that's in regards to me being out here in the States at whatever city I'm in, but also, going back home to Bermuda and being able to, like someone said before, working with the different people in Bermuda to continue to make the necessary advancements and investments into women's football back home. So hopefully I can, if it's physically and me, having these various conversations or camps or clinics or whatever the case may be, to different people, that's cool. But also in whatever way that I can kind of just talk about my experiences and use my experience to help others, because it's one thing to talk about soccer, but I also think that I can help a lot of people in regards to just my experiences just as a young girl growing up in this world. So definitely super appreciative for my platform, and hopefully I can continue to use it in a positive way to make a difference. So.
Amazing. And one comment from Traveling Charlie says, how do you think the sport can continue to progress in terms of gender equality and recognition?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I think we're continuing to see. I don't know if any of you guys, follow, women's football in regards to the WSL and to the NWSL here, but there's players signing record-breaking deals right now. And that's something that's going to continue to grow in regards to, these leagues increasing in their salary cap and what they're able to offer these players. And they're definitely getting the recognition and now the funds that they rightfully deserve. So that's going to be something that's going to continue to progress, and it's moving in the right direction. And we're going to see advancements from year to year, every single season. So that's definitely something. But there's always, there's ways to go. There's always areas for improvement, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, I think I was actually looking at the level of pay that women were getting in the sport from, like, I think it was 2013 to now, and boy, is it a big difference.
No.
Huge, huge difference. I got one from Amber Rap. She asks, what is your ultimate goal in life?
Ooh, that's a good one. I want to be able, what do I want to do? That's a good question. I just want to, I don't know, it sounds like really cringy. I enjoy community service. I enjoy volunteering. I enjoy giving back in some way. That's something that I was able to capitalize on when I was in university. And hopefully now that I have more time on my hands, I'm able to do it even more. I absolutely love just making someone's life a little bit easier, someone's day a little bit easier. And I may not always have millions of dollars or thousands and thousands of dollars to be able to completely revamp someone's life, but hopefully I can do things to be able to make their life a little easier. And I just want to be able to be a positive influence in this world. And I don't think my biggest goal in life is something to do with soccer in essence. Obviously, I want to see how far this sport can take me, and I want to be able to be the best version of myself as an athlete as I possibly can. But I think in regards to my goals, it's kind of everything outside of soccer, because like I said, and I started, I'll say it again, life is really tough. And if I can be able to be someone who can continuously, like I said, make someone's day a little easier, that's what I want to do. So hopefully as I get older, I can be able to build something of my own that is able to benefit women in sport, guys in sport, but also just be able to benefit just the general community as much as I possibly can. So to me, that'll probably be my biggest goal.
Thank you so much, Leilani. I think I got a comment here. I think it's from one of your former coaches or still coach. And this is also where I got the video of you and your team. But he says, thank you for being you, from Lugs at Lugs on Instagram. Thank you for being you, doing what you're doing and making us proud. God's got you, and so do we. Number 297.
297.
All right, Leilani, is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to mention to the community?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you everyone for your questions and for tapping in and getting to speak to Leilani. Obviously, her matches are coming up soon, but she's still in preseason. And we're really excited to see how far she goes. Again, here's the schedule for anyone looking. Screenshot that. Kind of, you can also look it up yourself, go to the team's roster and just see when they play home and away. Really proud of Leilani, and we really thank her for joining us today and able to get to know as much as you can about her. All right, so thank you so much again, everyone. And I think I'm going to tap out now with Leilani just by saying, again, wishing you the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
All right, everyone. Thanks again. This is me tapping out and just, again, saying thanks because this has been a really amazing conversation. I'm really happy that everyone was able to tap in live and ask the questions and engage with Leilani as she embarks on her professional career. Hopefully, we learned a lot. Again, share, like, and everything with this video as well to get out to all the young athletes who are pursuing and all the athletes in Bermuda and in the global world in soccer and sport. So thanks again, everyone, and have a